Hey, how are you? My name is Felt and welcome back to some Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we're playing Toxicity the deck. Now you might be like, what are you talking about, Felt? Toxicity the deck? We're playing blue-white control, where the win con is we mill our opponent out with Jace. That's it. There's our only win con. We can technically slowly beat our opponents to death using Restoration of Iganjo. That is technically an option. It is in here, but whole deck, Jace Mill. That's it. That's the win con. I guess this kind of like continues my trend from my last video of playing decks that are janky and fun and definitely don't fit in the meta at the moment. But yeah, the bottom line is you play 4 copies of Jace. You play 1 Repair and Recharge and 1 Invoke Justice. Technically, I think I should really just play 2 Repair and Recharges. But Invoke Justice can get back like Restoration of Iganjo in a pinch. Whereas, I guess a Repair and Recharge can as well. I guess Invoke Justice could buff up Restoration of Iganjo in a pinch. It's probably what my brain was initially thinking as to why I included 1 copy. It's also just... why not, right? It's something different, it's something fun. We run a lot of counter spells. 4 Make Disappears, 2 Negates, 2 Dissipates. That's a fair amount of counter spells. Lots of bouncing and removal, Fadings, Hopes, Ossifications, Soul Partitions. We have a Founding of the Third Path in here, which helps us play our Soul Partitions and Fading Hopes for free, and then maybe get back like a Consuming Tide or a Repair and Recharge later. Also, Consuming Tide, super slept on card for, like, controlling decks in grindier matchups. A card that just bounces everything simultaneously? -1. Pretty good, IMO. Fun fact with Soul Partition, I would like to bring this up every time I use it in a Planeswalker deck. You can Soul Partition your own stuff when it comes under fire from your opponent, and you don't have to pay the extra 2. So for example, my opponent plays a Fateful Absence targeting my Jace, and I'm like, I don't want my Jace to die. I can Soul Partition my own Jace, and I can still play him for just 4 mana. Because the addendum on Soul Partition is a spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more. A spell cast by an opponent this way costs 2 more. And yeah, other than that, we got some pretty basic stuff. We got Depops and Farewells in here as well, and that's the deck. Hopefully this does well. It's been performing okay. I get a lot of salty ropers, but I think it's because I'm playing a deck that doesn't appear to have a win con, which I totally understand getting salty about that. Those decks can be kind of boring. But I do have a win con. It's mill. The number of times I've like milled out control decks or milled out Super Friends decks or like Reanimator decks, and they're like, oh, I'm losing to being milled is really high. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy the gameplay, and let's hop right into it. Alright, our opponent is going first. Based on the avatar and sleeve, I'm going to assume it's mono red. So this hand actually works pretty well. Ossification to get rid of stuff, Fading Hope to bounce and tempo control, and we do have a basic land to play with Ossification. That's the big thing with Ossification in this deck, is if you get it in your opening hand, really, really, really make sure that you actually have something to play with it. Ooh, I don't know if this could be any better for me. Because they're probably going to play something here, and then I'm just going to bounce it immediately. If they play a 2-drop, that's even better, because that means their whole turn is now gone. Could have been better. Could have been better to, I think we bounce the Phoenix check here, because it does more damage. We could do the Make Disappear thing. I don't think we play the Ossification yet. I don't think it's worth it. I think we use it on the Kumano. Probably. Who cares? We're waiting to see if they play any like 2-cost burn spells or just another Monastery Swift Spear. Those things get annoying really fast. Doesn't look like they have any instants of sorceries though, so that bodes well for me. We will probably ossify the Swift Spear and Hindsight here. And then just hold up the Fading Hope to bounce away. Probably the Kumano. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll bounce something. They could play something that's a little scarier than Kumano. Like a Squee. Which we will then be able to hard exile with Dissipate on this next turn. Well, I mean, you know, we'll be able to exile with Dissipate on this next turn. Hopefully I draw one of my card draw engines here soon. Mechanized Warfare. That's fine. We'll just do this. It is now 5 mana, meaning that it is very, very expensive. We don't have a ton of life gain in this deck, but can't win them all. Looks like we're going to flood out and probably end up losing, though, which is quite sad. I still think we hold the Dissipate for the Squee, just to make sure that it never comes back. Looks like we're getting super unlucky, though. Our biggest form of card draw is Jace, and not getting Jace makes this really tough. Looks like, yep, we die. We flooded. Sometimes you just flood. We are going first. I actually really like this hand. It's incredibly good from both a tempo and just general gameplay perspective. Because if they play something we want to get rid of with Soul Partition, we have Founding of the Third Path, otherwise we just hold up the negate. Might be soldiers, might be control. Feels like soldiers. Usually if it's control, there's a little bit of tempo. Not tempo, a priority stick. Could be control. Let's just find out then. Control. Soldiers doesn't run Union of the Third Path. Alright, so we're on the middle game plan. We don't need to worry about removal too hard. I like how they're stopping and staring at it like they've never seen the card before. This is not that uncommon of a card. It's not from even that many sets ago. Yeah, this is just hard control for my opponent. Alright. This is going to be a lot of waiting around. Thankfully, we don't care at all about their life gain. We really only care about looking for, like, Jace. I consider putting a few more ways of drawing cards into this deck. It could be a, this could be a Mind Splice Apparatus deck for my opponent. But I have 3 ways of dealing with the apparatus, so that's fine. And we are plenty prepared to fight a counter war. Here comes the apparatus. I don't know why they only did it with 1 open mana. That's just an interesting decision. But yeah, it's totally a Mind Splice Apparatus deck. On the plus side, that does mean our job's pretty easy, because we don't really care that much about Mind Splice Apparatus. They're going to be drawing a bunch of cards anyways. We want them to draw cards. We want them to empty that library. This makes me think they're going to try and play another Mind Splice. Which we could probably just let land and then Soul Partition it. Now they're going to Experimental Augury again. Yes. Yes. Draw those cards, opponent. Yes. This is one of the few control decks that I think I've played recently where I actually feel like comfortable playing into the control matchups. I have considered putting Devious Cover-Up on the deck, but I just get kind of bored playing Devious Cover-Up decks. I don't think it would be a bad idea because it allows me to get my Jaces back, right? I think I might slot that in one of these next upcoming games and give it a shot. I don't think I need any Fading Hopes, so I will probably just drop one of them. Who cares? Union of the Third Path doesn't bother me. I am here to mill you, opponent. Games like this always, I think, freak out my opponents, because they never know what I'm actually playing until it's way too late. They think I'm like playing like a Mind Splice Mirror. Nah, I'm literally just biding time. You are drawing through your deck faster than I am unironically winning the race. Whether you realize it or not, I am winning the race here. Fortunately, Mind Splice Apparatus decks typically only run like Syncopate as a counterspell. I don't really need to worry too much. Alright, can we land Jace here? Will they let us land Jace? Probably not, but that's why we have the Invoked Justices and shit. They need to Syncopate for X equals 4, and then they need to do it again because I have a Dissipate. We could also just let Jace land. If they kill him, it's fine. I have invoked justice. And soul partition, actually. Ooh. Rough. Rough life, buddy. Missed out 2 of your card draw spells. Yeah, we can always just, like, soul partition our, I think we try and dissipate it, and then we get it counterspelled, and then we soul partition it on this next turn. Because we know they're going to counterspell us. There's no way that they waited this long just to not have a counterspell in hand, right? Yeah, there they go. But that is a second syncopate down, I believe. I think that's their second. Nah, it's only, I only see 1. Ooh, that's rough for us. I'm not gonna lie, this has got to be one of the shittiest cards that they've printed in a hot minute. Alright, let's see. Do we win or lose? This basically determines whether we win or lose right here. Nice, alright. Yeah, I think we just kind of have to vibe from here. I mean, they can replay it, but, like, it takes so much of their mana. 6-drop Mind Splice Apparatus? Not exactly what most people are hoping for. I don't know why they're not replaying it. Maybe they're just like, I don't need to care. But it's just kind of weird. Alright, can we play Jace? They really only seem to play Syncopate, so... I mean... Okay.
Surrender your mind to
I wonder if they play more Vanish into Eternities.
I know where to find all the answers.
It just seems like a bad card, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's this is one of those cases of it's only working because of this particular matchup. This card is bad. Like, I hate to tell you this, opponent. This card is just straight up bad. It is only working because that is my only win con. But they don't know that, right? Like, there's no way of them knowing that that's why this is working. But hey, I mean... You get it, buddy. Memory Deluge is really nice for me here. We're basically just waiting for them to play their win con at this rate. We might try and Memory Deluge and get it countered here. Yeah, let's Memory Deluge and get it countered. We'll get out more of their syncopates here. I think they can, right? Yeah, they have a syncopate up. Look at how they just immediately went to count my mana. Alright, get another syncopate out of their hand. Easy clap. Yeah, this is why this deck isn't even close to a problem for me. Like, their win con is slowly syncopate me to death. I have 5 open mana, opponent. You play it for X equals 6. You play it for X equals 6. You play it for X equals 6. There you go. I don't know why you bothered to, like... God, man. The number one plus side really is that Mind Splice Apparatus decks literally run, like, 4 total counter spells in the entire deck. Like, that's it. That's, like, all they run. So you are typically, like, safe as can be playing into them. I think we've hit the point where we know they're not really playing Planeswalkers, so we can drop the ossifications. I still don't know what their win con is, though. I haven't seen a win con in their board here. Like, maybe they just haven't found it yet? It's typically, trying to think of what the win con typically is. We could actually just get back founding with Invoke Justice in hindsight. You know what? I think let's go for that. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they let us. I can't imagine they will, right? No? Alright. Mill 4 cards. Ooh, we got out another Syncopate. Nice. It's actually really good for us. That means they only have a maximum of 1 more Syncopate in the deck. And looking through their sideboard there, it doesn't look like they play anything else. Which means that our Depopulates will land when they play White Sun's Twilight. Because that's what they're going to play. Come on, we all know that's what they're going to play, right? It does make me kind of wish I had dropped something else with Founding here. But at least y'all are getting to see how this deck functions on the grindy matchups. It does pretty freaking well. When the control deck of the meta is Mind Splice Apparatus. Oh, there it is. When the control deck of the meta... Why did you only play that for X equals 7? That seems like one of the dumbest decisions I think I've ever seen in my life. I think we probably actually just like fading hope 2 of them to like get the top of our library to be in a better state. I don't know why they wouldn't just play it for X equals 10, because that's lethal. Like, just straight up lethal. I guess we'll find out if they play other stuff, though, but I haven't seen them... I haven't seen a single other card in their graveyard. And we've seen most of their deck, right? So, like, I can't imagine that they're playing Devious Cover-Up. Ah, they're playing Witness the Future, though. Not exactly a great card. Alright, let's do some shenanigans while we're here. While they're basically tapping out here, we're just going to do some shenanigans and take care of some stuff. We are removing their extra mana base. We are removing creatures so that we can basically find a Jace. I actually really like getting a Dissipate here, so this is okay. All they really get is like 4 cards back, and now they have at best like 1 Syncopate in hand. Yeah, they have 1 Syncopate in hand now. At best. At best. They might not even have it. Alright, cool. So we do get to kill off their board state here with our depopulates. And in fact, we're just going to soul partition the Mind Splice Apparatus again, because we are just playing the value train game here. That is it. That is all we are doing. And if they do protect it with something, we just get something back with Founding. Are they going to flash it back in because they have the mana? Darn. Okay, let's just grab a random Fading Hope so we can scry to the top here. We don't really care about 4 poison. I don't think we care about 4 poison. I think we now hold the Dissipate up to protect our Jace when we find it. I'm honest to God kind of shocked they play Witness the Future because that card just isn't very good. Alright, we need to depopulate after this, probably. I don't know if it's worth it, though. Sure. We can go for this. Okay, we don't have enough to depopulate and protect it with a Dissipate. So let's just go for the depopulate, just raw dog it. If we get out another Syncopate, that's good for us. Alright. Getting out another Syncopate? Wunderbat. Fun fact, we can get an extra depopulate from our graveyard with Founding. Meaning that we can still try and cast 2 depopulates on the same turn here. Even if they do try and counter 1, we can just play the second depopulate here. Oh, do they have us? But wait, no, we've taken out all their experimental auguries, haven't we? Or did they get them all back? I see 2, I see 3, and that should now be 4? Yeah, okay, they cannot proliferate anymore unless they have another proliferate card here. Which they might. They might. They might randomly play a proliferate card. Okay. Such a strange choice. Alright, Depop. We're trying to bait out the Syncopate here. 5, 6, 7. We have exactly enough to play Jace, and then, we have exactly enough to play Jace and then Dissipate, protect him. Literally exactly enough to protect him here. We could still lose. They could have another random card in their deck that just says proliferate on the 10, right? Like, they could just have something that answers what's happening here. But I doubt it. You don't typically run too much proliferate in the Mind Splice deck. It's usually like 1 or 2 cards. Oh, we got out the last Syncopate. And that should be game.
I've already read your thoughts.
Woo, baby. Oh, what a grind. We got there. We got there. And I have Dissipate Protection in hand. So unless they can instant speed Witness the Universe or something, I win. Oh, what a grind. We got there. And we didn't even come close to losing on cards, which is usually what I worry about. That's usually what I worry about in a matchup like this, is just losing on cards. Yeah, you can't do anything, opponent. Got an empty library. Woo, baby. Oh, man, that was a slog. Let's go look at their deck list. I'm curious now. Because the Witness the Future really threw me for a loop. So what do they play? Sunset Revelry, Silver Scrutiny, Farewell, White Suns, Mind Splice, Cincos. I still think this is a bad choice. Like, it does exile non-land permanents, so, like, it hits Planeswalkers, but, like, Fateful Absence does it for 1 less mana. Sure, you're allowing them to investigate, but the Clue token literally doesn't matter in most matchups. You're going to overpower them with just sheer advantage eventually. Yeah, it looks like fairly standard Mind Splice. They just, for some reason, play Witness the Future. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Witness the Future is a bad card. I think it does really well in the, Devious Cover-Up variants of decks like this, but it doesn't matter, you just get milled out. GG, opponent. Alright, we go first with Counterspells and a Restoration, and then Invoke Justice. Which, into anything other than, like, Mono Red, I think this hand is, like, flawless. And to Mono Red, I'm very depressed because, yeah, they still have to do that. Which means that they still get a Kumano no matter what. So moments like this when I really wish I'd put some form of life gain in this deck, but I just don't care. Yeah, you don't get to play Phoenix Check, opponent, I'm sorry. Goodbye. Ooh, they whiffed a land. I think we just play a Ganjo here, though. I think we play a Ganjo to get a little bit of mana ramp going, so that we can hit 5 mana ASAP. And then also, you know, just have a Ganjo on board. My opponent kept a 1-lander, which, like... Oh, 1 bottom. That bodes well. Yeah, let's hit the mana ramp. And then we're just going to play Founding of the Third Path just straight away on 2. Maybe we shouldn't have milled them out in hindsight. They don't get to go searching for anything. No thank you. Come again. Unfortunately, this can only hit, we have to do this. We don't get them back anyways, though. This comes back. We can absolutely get away with playing this here, because that means we still have the ability to hold up Dissipate, meaning that if they have to get more mana, besides the 1 mana they have, we can dissipate any form of card advantage that they play. And my opponent's getting land screwed. We let them have the play with fire here. I think we've hit kind of critical mass, so to speak. We'd kind of hit critical mass anyways if we had an onboard threat that was hard for Mono Red to kill. And on top of that, we had a counterspell for if they started trying to really get going. It looks like my opponent just missed... I milled over their only land drop in the top, like, 16 cards of their deck. That's why you don't keep 1-landers, folks, even in Mono Red. Alright, let's see if this is a potentially playable matchup, or we want to cry. This hand is not keepable, unfortunately, on the play. We need interaction on the play, because as much as I think that someone wearing, like, avatars and sleeves like that might not be playing Mono Red, the odds of them playing Mono Red are very high. Alright, so I guess the game doesn't want us to actually be able to do anything. I guess we just do this. This is like the exact same hand. I'm really surprised, actually. Ah, so is it just Boros instead of Mono Red this time? Is that what it is? Oh my goodness. Let's just mill them and see what they're actually playing. Boros control? What? I'm so confused. Let's just go ahead and get rid of that, shall we? We'll do it on my face so they don't have an opportunity to do anything. I'm just happy it's for once not mono red. I have literally lost an hour straight of footage just because I cannot stop running into mono red decks. And don't get me wrong, this deck can take mono red, but it's like 60-30 in mono red's favor. Or 60-40, I guess, in mono red's favor. That's really good here. It's like 60-40 in mono red's favor. It's just like impossible to win unless you are super ahead from the get-go and there are missing land drops. It is rough. It is rough out there trying to play anything that doesn't have life gain in it that is control based. They're staring at it. They're going to kill it. I don't mind if it dies. We have repair and recharge to get it back. Interesting. Are they a reanimator or are they just a control deck? I mean, yeah, keep drawing, opponent. So fine with you just drawing a billion cards. Oh my god, it is control. Boros control. Mad props, opponent. I give you the largest round of applause that I can muster. Mad props. No, he goes out on our terms. This is one of those really weird things to fight over, but it's just about resource denial. I don't actually care if Chase dies. We can get it back with repair and recharge. But if we make our opponent play out multiple spells here, we're basically in resource denial stage, and like we can just go ham on him.
Nothing could be more vulnerable than your men.
We still have a repair and recharge, so even if this Chase dies as well, we're okay.
Plans are already
Oh, we get to draw. Oh, only one. Oh, they're at 19. That's so sad. Yeah, we have repair and recharge here, so we can technically do like whatever we want. Really, the only thing we worry about is stuff that we want to hit with Fading Hope. They could have just straight up blown up my Jace there. They had enough mana with their Sacred Fire. Interesting. I think they're just very used to playing mono red, I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot of life gain. You can see it. Emperor, White Suns, Mart. We need that land, actually. Emperors, White Suns, March. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Surrender every last thought to Phyrexia.
Did we just like... Nah, we just go for cards.
I've already read your thoughts. We can improve.
We just want to refill our hand here. Which seems strange. But I think it's the right play to just refill our hand there. My opponent could play any number of things that take out this Jace. But we got to full refill our hand, and that bodes very well for us. This is just such a breath of fresh air. I am so painfully tired of mono red right now. You don't even know, viewers. The amount of like decks that I physically can't record videos on because mono red just crushes them, and mono red is 90% of the best of one meta. It's not actually 90%, in case you didn't know. Mono red is around 20% of the best of one meta right now. Like, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough. How many cards do they have in their graveyard? 24? One more good Jace and we just kill them. Okay, we need to go hunting for stuff though, unfortunately. Oh, they get to kill Jace though. That's so sad. Oh well, it's not the end of the world. We get one turn of life here. Math is hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 open mana, which means we can Memory Deluge and make Disappear in case they try and play something big like that again. Or you can just Consuming Tide. Because this is one of those weird, technically speaking things. They can't, like, keep everything. And it matters more to me to have essentially no poison counters than it does for me to allow them to draw more, because they only have 15 cards left. If we draw Jace, we win, right? Like, we draw Jace, we are allowed to play our full costed Jace on board, on curve, we just win. Interesting. Oh, so it's like Proliferate Tribal. Interesting. Bad props, opponent. I am just beyond impressed that my opponent is trying something different. Trying to think of what we want to exile with this. We don't have a soul partition down here, do we? Oh, we do. Oh, we hit the staff. Oh, we so hit the staff. Soul partition. Hit the staff. We want to make it really hard for them to be able to play that thing again. Only have 5 open mana, so we can't, like... We're going to have to make the tough decision of, do we, like, make disappear or memory deluge here? Or negate, I guess, I suppose, as well. Those also count. All of those count, really. We basically just are going to have to make the hard decision of what do we do. Because if we memory deluge into a Jace, we just straight up win, because my opponent doesn't run counter magic, so he will land. But if we die due to them doing some crazy shenanigans with, like, the Staff of Completion, I am moderately concerned, right? I think the play is to play for the win, but I'm not positive. That thing really only 3 mana? But I think if we do this now, we're feeling pretty alright. Unfortunately, they do have 2 open mana, so if they have another one in hand, I have to worry about that. Sorry, they have 2 open mana and the 3 to play the thing. Ooh, but now they only have 3 mana, so if they try and play a 3-drop, it's gone. Alright, we're going to main phase the Memory Deluge here and go hunting for counterspells, as well as hunting for Jaces. Fading Hope kind of counts. Restoration doesn't really count. I think we just do this now. Just take it off the board. Just take it out of here. Get it gone. And we can double make disappear something. Bit of a weird one, but it does work out. And we also want the Fading Hope to be able to scry us a Jace to the top. Or a Farewell. You know, I actually kind of want the Farewell. I kind of dig that idea. It means, I don't think my opponent has any graveyard synergies, but it'll mean the graveyard can be gone. But it also means if my opponent tries to play out like Staff of Completion, White Sun's Twilight, more Reckoner Bankbusters, we just get rid of it all. At the moment, we're not exactly scared, right? So it's not like we super care. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... We can play Memory Deluge and make disappear at the same time, which is nice. My opponent's kind of milling themselves out for me, though, so I don't really know if I have to care that much, do I? I do kind of want to make sure I use this Memory Deluge before I hit the Farewell. I think that's the smart play. They could use the Mirex to start making stuff. I don't think they have the power to... Let me look. How much is it? It's 5 mana to untap. So let's say they pay their 5, right? Because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 9 mana open, right? So I can play Memory Deluge and to make disappear, so... Never mind, I don't have to do the math anymore. I'm going to finish my thoughts so you know where my brain was going there. We finally won one. As you can see, we lost like 10 games in a row to Mono Red. I'm not joking. We'll cover that in the end portion of the video, though. But I was just thinking out loud about, like, okay, well, can they kill me with Staff of Completion, right? So if they say, get maybe made like a Mirex token on their instep, swing, that's 3 poison counters. They have access to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 mana. They pay 3, they're at 8. They pay 2 more, they're at 6. So they can only proliferate and untap it once. That only puts us up to 5 poison counters. And at that point, we probably would have found Jace and won off of that. I just wanted to finish my thought. Chi-Chi's opponent, I am so proud of you for trying to do something different. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Alright, we're on the play, and we might actually be able to do something. It looks like it's for once not mono red. Shocking, I know. We'll be able to play Soul Partition on 2, making us have some really good tempo plays. I wanna die. Not literally. That's a joke. I will clarify. It's a joke. Looks like this is... Alright, let's get out the, get out the protection spell. Oh, they don't have a protection spell. Oh, that's huge for me. Oh, that's actually huge for me. Looking like it's just like... We'll just do this now so then that we can like just lull them into a false sense of security so we can depopulate. What are they actually playing? Let's find out.
Emotions are distractions. Focus. I will clear your mind.
That doesn't tell me anything. Actually, I take that back. The combat research tells me they're probably playing Ivy. Okay, well, they can't save both of them, so... Okay, opponent. You should really have, like, held up some spells or something in place of just letting your stuff die, but what do I know?
No secret escapes my grasp.
We probably want to just get rid of that Spar's headquarters eventually. Storm Chaser Drake, okay. Please draw cards, opponent, please. Yes, draw those cards, please, thank you. We just hold up the negate here. 2+ on the Storm Chaser Drake so that he can't kill us. Or we'll kill Jace. Oh no, it's Ivy. They're not allowed to play that. Storm Chaser Drake doesn't get any bigger. The way that that resolved makes me think that they don't have anything that they're playing right now. And that my depopulate is going to hit really hard. Oh, nice, another Jace. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Draw those cards, opponent. Yes. They're doing the work for me.
None of this calculates.
They're just doing all the work for me. Technically speaking, this isn't the greatest decision, but I just really, really want to get some more cards in hand.
We can improve upon your
Milling over another Storm Chaser is good. That's 3 Storm Chasers down. Opponent has what? 3 cards in hand over there. Sheesh. Okay, I guess they just don't miss, but to be fair, I also did let them go through half of their deck, so. Alright, let's just mill them out a tiny bit. If they kill me, they kill me. I don't really have a way around it.
I will shatter.
We'll cycle this away now. Wow, alright, so we're just dead here, but, you know, at least it, for once, it wasn't mono red, you know, and for that, I'm eternally grateful. I wonder if they can find lethal. I bet they can, right? I bet there's a really easy to find lethal line here for them. Yeah, no, they have it. They very obviously have it. If they had an Ivy, they would have gotten it like 10 years ago. Oh yeah, they so have it. That's so disappointing. We drew 3 lands in a row, and as a result of that, we just lost the game because we couldn't take care of what they have. That's so sad. We could have done it. We were pretty close. 22 cards left. That's like 1 or 2 more Jaces. Unfortunately, you can't win them all. So you saw the deck. You witnessed its failures. You witnessed its victories. And what's the final verdict? Do I recommend you play this? Oh, yes, please. Please play this. This deck is super fun and cool. I love this deck. I think it's great. I think that it absolutely cannot live in the current meta. I think that the current meta crushes it alive. But that is 99% just mono red. Mono red is... I've said this a handful of times, but I still feel like mono red is just way too good for the standard meta right now. I've played into mono red where they are killing me on turn 3 or 4. That is really, really fast for standard, in my opinion. Considering how many decks run like their board wipes at 4 mana and try and get away with that. The fact that there is a mono red deck that will kill you on the play as early as turn 3, if they're very, very lucky, is pretty rough. But that's really your biggest problem. So if you probably just like slot in maybe some Wandering Emperors for life gain, slot in some Union of the Third Paths for life gain, maybe some White Sun's Twilight, just anything that just keeps you afloat until you can get past the mono red burn strat, you'll win. You will. You absolutely will. It's the same as playing any other mono red deck right now. But this deck really struggles in the best of 1 against mono red. In best of 3, I feel like you would easily crush it once you know what's happening. You lose the first round, you win the next 2 because you just slot in all your sideboard stuff. This deck doesn't have a sideboard. It was mostly made for fun, not for serious play. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy playing the deck, and hopefully you, viewer, are not one of the mono red scum lords of the earth. It's a joke. It's a joke. I swear it's a joke. I really hope that we get a really big shakeup in the meta come Mom here. Are we in Mom here? I always forget the terms. I really hope that we get a big shakeup and that mono red gets neutered hard. I'm still surprised that Commander Faces Kakazan hasn't been banned yet. I feel like that card is just way too good for standard right now. But what do I know? I'm not a game designer. What I am is an entertainer, and I hope I made you entertained with this video. Thanks for hanging out and watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to catch you in the next one.